they're at their highest earning years and they have fewer deductions than they've ever had in their life. So they're gonna realize that income right on top of all their other income and pay tax on it at their highest marginal tax bracket. I think that historically, every time they've talked about taking this away, they've always said, hey, whoever has the bucket of money, whoever has these life insurance policies before the rule changes gets to keep it and continue to put money into it under the old rule for the rest of their lives. We call that a grandfather clause. I think that's likely to happen moving forward. And so I generally like to position life insurance as it's free from legislative risk if history serves as a model.
And insurance companies have favor because you go back during the Great Depression and who bailed us out was the insurance companies. And they were given some special rules of reparation that'll really, I think they may have to, but I mean, that was a long time ago. So maybe they'll say, screw it. We're going to tax it anyway. And we don't really care. Going back to the Roth conversion real quick, moving money from taxable to tax-free, mathematically, you could say, well, what if I just did it all and paid 37%? Well, then you have the net investment income tax on top of that pays for the Affordable Care Act. That's another 3.8%. But in reality, if you did put a time value of money calculation to that, and we just did a ton of Roth conversions, Dave and I were recording this right after we had, several days of decline in the stock market, and then a big, massive historic recovery on Wednesday. Tons of Roth conversions Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and then boom, here it happened. We got a lot of it back. So I have an 80-year-old client whose son's very involved, and they actually are doing a Wall Street Journal article on it right now about why she would do a $2 million Roth conversion. And I'm like, well, here's the reason. Because she may live another 15 or 20 years, and then when her kids get it, they don't have to touch it for another 10 years. So I use my case as an example. My wife and I are both 55. We have a son who's exactly 30 years younger. Because had him at 30. And let's say the old man does a $200,000 Roth conversion, and it cost me 80 grand. And then it doubles every 10 years at 7.2. So it goes from 2 to 4 to 8, right? And then maybe I die. So it goes 55, 65, 75. So 2, 4, 8. My wife takes it over. She lives to 95, 1.6, 3.2 million. My boy gets it. Will, I have one, as you well know. You have 7. So probably not as impactful for your kids as it would be for mine. And then if he's smart enough, he can leave it in a Roth for 10 years and double it again to 6.4 million, all tax free, because the old man did a single Roth conversion at 55, $200,000. And I always say, my mom used to always say, I'm so glad I have a girl to take care of me when I get old, because boys typically aren't wired that way. But if you want your son to come visit your grave side, do that. Because if he isn't going to come visit me and say, thank you, Daddy, for that Roth conversion when you were 55, he ain't going to come to the graveyard for nothing. But Dave, that is a reason that someone even older may consider doing a Roth conversion, more from a legacy or a family legacy standpoint.
Oh, sure. I mean, then you think about, okay, so, your kid, if you leave it in the IRA, which I think is the worst possible place to have money when you die, and Ed Slott has said that over and over and over again. Just think about it this way. Your kid inherits your IRA. They inherit it at a period in their life when tax rates are much higher than they are today because it's post 2034. They're at their highest earning years and they have fewer deductions than they've ever had in their life. So they're gonna realize that income right on top of all their other income and pay tax on it at their highest marginal tax bracket, which is going to be dramatically higher than what you might be paying right now if you did a Roth conversion.